Welcome to the Select Board meeting. Today is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. This meeting hearing of the Ayer Select Board will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be live on Zoom and Channel 8. The public may access the proceedings by joining Zoom, meeting ID number 978-772-8220, or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Carly Antonellis, Assistant Town Manager at atm@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 100, prior to the meeting. If I could ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of the Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Yes.
Madam Chair, the IC Federal Credit Union donation presentation, we'd like to reschedule that to a future meeting. The credit union had an emergency matter and they'll be joining us in a future meeting.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Seconded? All those in favor?
Aye.
And the chair says aye. All right. Any announcements tonight? Actually, we have one. Happy birthday to Select Person Sean Copeland. All righty.
It's my dedication to this town.
Anyone here for public input?
Madam
Yes.
Chair, Madam Chair, through you, ask the fire chief and the police chief to come up to the table and just provide the board and the town, the public, with just a brief update regarding last week's fire. Chiefs.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having us. So what we thought was to kind of give a quick recap of how this very busy day for both the Air Police and Air Fire and Air Dispatch unfolded. What we're going to be talking about is an event that was from last Tuesday, July 14th. And it was just about 4:15 when we took a 911 call for a reported fire on the exterior of a building, which is, for us, that kind of starts a whole big ball rolling right away. And so what our dispatchers did at that time, and our dispatchers working the desk, was Mike Trombley and Jordan LaBelle. So they started that rolling. All of our police personnel on duty at that time, which was our 3 to 11 shift, which was led by Sergeant Dave Lansing, Jim Crawford, and we had somebody that was writing reports from the leftover from the day shift, Jared Splain, and all kind of hopped out the door, myself and the deputy, along with the detectives. Both detectives all responded to the scene. We were kind of really close in the area, and our first officer on scene was Jim Crawford, and who's in the audience here today. When he showed up, he actually had we have an intern with us, so our intern Mike was also in the car and first arrived on scene and saw basically this house, which is within eye shot of this building, really taken off. They got there was no way to enter the normal front door or side doors. But what they did observe, what Jim, Officer Crawford, saw was a woman on the second floor hanging out the window, just looking for guidance. Officer Crawford was able to tell the woman that she needs to look for an exit out the back door. And right away, the fire, at the same time, fire's responding, and they're shouting out, for, to dispatch to get more apparatus rolling here. And that's where, and the fire chief is going to talk about it, where mutual aid in our partnerships with our area towns really are that important. So I'm happy to say that woman did find her way out of that building, popped out at the back of the building somewhere, but there was no way for her to get out and around the building because it's on a kind of a small little cliff, and it's got a fence on it. But they were able to, with the assistance of some civilians that were in the area and some of the fire personnel that were starting to show up, get her safely over that fence and down that rock ledge. And I'm going to give it to the fire chief to take it from here, because really that's where, because we move into a kind of a scene management at that moment, and we start. When we first get there, the land that we call, we are controlling is very small, and then we have to kind of buy our land as that goes on. So we ended up having to control all the way from the intersection of Central Ave, Newton Street, Washington Street, Main Street, and all the way up to William Street. And that was, a challenge as we had to grow. And then once we got to that point, we could kind of specialize what we needed to do there. Chief.
Yeah, so big fire, big event for us, of course. I think some interesting facts to kind of set it up. It was late in the afternoon. Folks here were still working at the town hall. Traffic coming through town, creating a lot of people. Unfortunately, nobody saw the fire really early. And the weather of the day, hot and humid, so which plays a significant factor in, firefighters, how long they can work, getting the fire out and so forth. So, and it was great. I got some timelines from Mr. Hurstrom over at dispatch. So, and I thought it was interesting, 2 minutes, 34 seconds from the time they hit the tones to say, hey, there's a fire, that they were pulling up to the scene. So that was really quick. The group that working today, which is some of them here tonight, they get out real quick. Speaking to the lieutenant in charge that day, Tyler Schwabe, they knew it was a significant fire based on, they were receiving calls and they could see the plume of smoke. We were fortunate that day. They were on an EMS run, but if everyone remembers, we were fortunate enough to get some state funds, and what we did with that is we upstaffed during the day from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We have 2 extra people in the station that day. So that day, those 2 people were on the EMS run, so that left us 4 personnel back at the station. Now, if I can digress, just think of if we didn't have those staff, we would have been pulling out with 2 people in that fire engine, 1 to run the pump and 1 to start stretching the line. So having 4 people, you do double the work. So that was a real important factor in that fire. So we pulled out, we knew there was a significant fire. A couple minutes into it, another alarm brings us, additional help. It wasn't too long, I was in Fitchburg coming back. By the time I was listening to the traffic, they went to a 3rd alarm because of the significance of the fire. Went up, as you could see, the front and the left side of the building, and then unfortunately get into the roof components, and that's why you see where it's at now, where the roof collapsed. Called additional help. It ended up being 6 alarm, but during those alarms we get 2 additional engines during that. But some significant points is like the area was busy. Harvard couldn't send a unit when we asked for them. Acton couldn't send a unit. So we made do with what we had on scene. Certainly the heat played its toll on the firefighters that were there. The good news is we had no firefighter injuries. To the Chief Gill's point, we got everybody out. Great teamwork. If I could add some kudos to not only I think it was 14, including our cover companies, our mutual aid partners. We had the Department of Fire Services with the rehab unit, which is a big, like a large truck that's out here. You can go in, sit down, cool off, get some refreshments. And if I also add our CERT team, which they don't get to do a lot of things, but they played a really good and a good significant role, setting up tents. They did the water, snacks, cold towels. So certainly all of our team members throughout the town, police, fire, CERT, certainly played a role in making this outcome, success. If I might add too, that I did look at the house adjacent to it. When we pulled up, the siding was melting on that house, and they stretched the first lines to the front and the side to eliminate that fire from spreading. So kudos to everybody. In the end, the investigation started not only with the Air Police and the detectives, with Lieutenant Bozick from Fire Prevention, assisted by 2 detectives from the State Fire Marshal's office, and the end result was, and the conclusion was that it was careless disposal of smoking materials outside on the porch. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you had any.
And if I could just add one more thing, during all of this, we activated the housing. What are they?
Oh,
the
Red Cross. Yes.
So
Great point.
the Red Cross were in relatively quick, and they were able to meet with the occupants and the owner of the building and kind of come up with a bridge plan to get them to the next level, where then they can kind of come up with a more permanent solution for that. So it's that was also another good resource that we have at our disposal that usually helps us out in these situations.
Yeah, and we don't really see that end result. We make the connection, but we did end up, at least our department did. I met with one of them because they needed a copy of a fire report, and they kudos to the Red Cross. They couldn't thank them enough if they needed housing, some vouchers, to get settled, and clothing, and a place to sleep for a few days. So they couldn't say enough about them.
Well, I gotta say, I had the opportunity to watch all of you working. I live up the street, and it was kind of weird because, we had all the smoke coming from Canada and everything. It was this really hazy day. So all day you're kind of like, oh, I feel like I smell smoke. I think we know why. And I had just put together a new fan, and I turned it on, and all of a sudden we smelled this burning. And we're like, is the new fan? And we realized all this smoke's pouring in, and I came down, I watched it. And for those who did not get to see all of them in action, it's phenomenal. And I can't praise it enough from what I saw too, and the amount of towns that poured in. I think I counted like 12 that came in and everything. And at first I was like, why are all these towns coming in? But then as it was explained, because of the heat of the flames themselves, and needing to do a turnover, and somebody needs to help with water and all that other stuff. The teamwork is phenomenal. And it is so amazing, when I saw those flames, and how lucky that all of us were that it didn't spread to other homes and everything, because that would have just shot right up, And I just cannot thank you enough as a resident of this town for everything all of you did and always do. And mutual aid is a wonderful thing.
Sure is.
Same. It was very impressive, and like I said, the teamwork. And I think I try to stay away from social media community pages, but I think the place in the fire department, the one thing that everybody in this town agrees on, is just amazing, and that was definitely on display that day. So thank you all. Should be proud of the work you did.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's all to those people in the back.
Yep.
Thank you, all of you. There's really no words that can accurately describe how valuable all of you are, and how when you guys get together and have to, there's that emergency, boom. And I can remember, the one thing that was always drilled into me when I was in the service, and even from my father, is everybody's got to be taught that when, the call is made, everyone knows where they're going. So when you're doing that training, at least in the military side, it's like, why are we doing this? Until that moment that call is made, and you realize everyone knew where they were supposed to show up and what they were supposed to do. And there's just thank you. And I know that there are days when you probably all walk home going, oh God, it was a rough day. And just please know you are appreciated. And we cannot thank you enough.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we got a couple of National Grid public hearings, so. All right, Mr. Clerk, public hearing number one.
Yeah, here we go. Town of Ayer, notice of public hearing, Ayer Select Board. The Ayer Select Board will be conducting an in-person and remote participation public hearing on Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. regarding a petition by National Grid and Verizon New England, Inc., requesting permission to locate poles, wires, and fixtures, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures along and across the following public way. Winthrop Avenue, National Grid to relocate one JO pole on Winthrop Avenue, beginning at a point approximately 0 feet south of the central line of the intersection of Winthrop Avenue and High Street, and continuing approximately 10 feet in a north direction. Relocate P4 Winthrop Avenue 10 feet north and install anchor 6-foot lead length. Plan on reverse side of the sheet. Name of the applicant, National Grid and Verizon New England, Inc. Date of the public hearing, Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. Time of public hearing, 6 p.m. Location of public hearing, in person, Ayer Town Hall, 1 Main Street, Ayer, Massachusetts, 01432. Remote participation via Zoom, meeting ID number 978-772-8220, or by calling 929-205-6099.
And do we have anyone for National Grid?
Hi,
Hi.
I'm here online.
And your name is? Excuse me.
My name is Neelu Shah. I work for Leidos Engineering for National Grid.
Okay. And can you tell us exactly what will be happening with this particular petition?
Yeah, so National Grid is looking to relocate pole 4 10 feet away to allow for the new customer. The development that's going on will be installing the conduit also. So we're relocating pole 4. Right now, it's sort of right at the intersection of High Street and Winthrop Ave, and it's not a good location. So we're kind of getting it away from that sharp curve.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
Just a comment. I had met with,
Could you come forward and state your name and address, please?
yes. My name is Ayer. I'm Claren, relevant 29 High Street. Right across, I guess you can see my residence there.
Okay.
And I met with Miss Lidos, I
Neelu?
believe.
Yeah?
And we just went over this before, maybe like a week ago, just talking about the pole box locations. So I just came to verify we wanted to keep the pole box away from the front of our property and more towards, I guess when you're facing our property, towards the left side. So it's kind of in between our property and the adjacent property of the Fields new project.
Okay.
So I just wanted to come and just verify that change has been made or it's happening.
So, Madam Chair, this was a new plan submitted around like noontime today.
Okay.
So, Neelu, is this with the changes proposed by the firings?
Yes, yeah. As you can see, hi Aaron. The
Hi.
pole box one, if you remember the old drawing that we met out and looked at, it was more in front of the house, but we relocated that pole box towards almost at the edge of your property.
Okay. And
This is the
So yeah,
original plan.
if there is an original,
Yeah, it does look like there's a change.
Yeah, so here's the original plan.
well, this is for the pole, but I think there is one more for the conduit.
Yeah, this is the original one. And then,
This is the revised.
So we have two hearing, one for the JO pole and then one for the conduit. So that sketch is for the relocation of the pole.
And then it'll be
and I
this
think-
one.
Yeah. If
This one.
so are we talking about the one that this gentleman's talking about?
No, what he's asking about is that underground petition hearing, which is the second on the agenda.
Oh, okay, so we haven't gotten to that particular.
Oh,
So it'll be
Yeah. So,
Okay.
that's okay, we were all confused. So,
Oh,
so,
all right.
so
At
there's
least we're
three,
all on the same page.
yeah, so there's 3 public hearings, so it looks like the one you're talking about is the one coming up right after this one.
Oh, okay.
So, hang tight 2
All
minutes.
right. No problem.
Okay,
Do that.
all right.
We're back
So confusing
to-
when there's so many.
Mhm.
Okay,
So we're on this one.
Yeah,
So-
we're on this one, so I just described the work for
Okay.
locating pole.
all right. Does anybody have any questions about this one?
No.
Okay. All right.
Then,
And then, real quick, sorry, I know Chief Gill had put in,
A comment regarding, we need to maintain 3 feet, because they're redoing, this project, I mean, the fields are redoing the sidewalk all on Winthrop Ave and
Yeah.
High Street. So I have made that note to make sure they follow the ADA compliance of the sidewalk.
okay, great,
Okay, and that's all related to this one?
yeah.
This one JO pole? Okay,
Are you okay with, Dan, that?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. All right,
okay.
I think we got it.
All right. Then I will make a motion that the board approve the National Grid and Verizon Winthrop Ave number 312-81172 proposed installation of 1 JO pole.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And the chair says aye. Okay. I'll make a motion to close this particular public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Okay, next, public hearing number 2.
All right. Town of Ayer.
That's
Notice of-
this one you're talking about.
Notice of public hearing, Air Select Board. The Air Select Board will be conducting an in-person and remote participation public hearing on Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026 at 6:05 p.m. regarding a petition by National Grid to construct a line of underground electric conduits, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures under and across the public way or ways hereinafter named Plan number 312-81172, Winthrop Avenue and High Street. National Grid to install a conduit 2 to 3 inch and 1 pole box form new pole number 4 to customer property along Winthrop Avenue and High Street, approximately 325 feet. Plan on reverse side of the sheet. Name of applicant, National Grid. Date of public hearing, Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. Time of public hearing, 6:05 p.m. Location of public hearing, in person, Air Town Hall, 1 Main Street, Air, Massachusetts, 01432. Remote participation via Zoom meeting ID number 978-772-8220 or by calling 929-205-6099.
All right, Nilu, is this one, is
Hi.
the change that was requested by the customer, has that been made?
Yep, we sent over, yep, she's showing us the pole box
Okay, so-
location has now moved to away from their front yard.
All right, so this is the one we're talking about right now,
Yes.
right? Okay. So, sir, does this address your concern?
Yeah, I don't see the pocket on it, but it doesn't show it like right where it was in the previous drawing, so it sounds like she moved it.
So this is the new drawing, and I can pull up the,
Okay, now I see it when you zoomed in.
yeah, and then this is the old drawing, which is more to the left here.
The new drawing, is it where?
And the new drawing has it here.
Okay.
I think the location is correct. I mean, they have one installed there physically now, and I think the inspector who's at National Grid came out, confirmed where it is now. It's okay. So I don't know from that drawing if that's actually the location. It's currently is installed right now, but if it is, then we're good with it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does.
Right, yes, it gets off.
I know, it's hard with these pictures, so, okay,
But
but,
it was kind of out of the way of, front yard, seemed like a good spot for it.
Yep.
all right, so Nilo, you're confirming, I think I said that wrong, I'm sorry. You're confirming that your conversation with this gentleman has been addressed and that this updated plan clarifies that?
Yes,
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions on this particular one?
Okay, make a motion that the board approve the National Grid Winthrop Avenue and High Street number 312-81172 proposed installation of underground electrical conduits as amended.
Seconded? All those in favor?
Aye.
And the chair says aye. And I make a motion to close this particular public hearing.
Okay.
You give a second?
Second. Yes.
I know it's your birthday. I know you're a little older now.
Yeah.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
And the chair says aye. All right, and public hearing number 3.
All right. Town of Ayer, notice of public hearing, Ayer Select Board. The Ayer Select Board will be conducting an in-person and remote participation public hearing on Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026 at 6:10 p.m. regarding a petition by National Grid to locate poles, wires, and fixtures, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures along and across the following public way. Sandy Pond Road, National Grid to install one SO pole on Sandy Pond Road beginning at a point approximately 140 feet northwest of the center line of the intersection of Sandy Pond Road. Install 55-foot Class H1 mid-span pole between P7-2 and P7-3 Sandy Pond Road. Pole will be located on town property, intersected by Central Ave and East Main Street. Pole to be labeled 7-25, plan number 313-50615. Plan on reverse side of the sheet. Name of applicant, National Grid. Date of public hearing, Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. Time of public hearing, 6:10 p.m. Location of public hearing, in person, Ayer Town Hall, 1 Main Street, Ayer, Massachusetts, 01432. Remote participation via Zoom, meeting ID number 978-772-8220, or by calling 929-205-6099.
All right, Nilu, would you like to tell us what's going on with this one?
Actually, this is not my project, so I
Okay.
think there's someone else from
Yeah.
National Grid.
Okay,
Maybe.
Charlie?
Hello, yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Charlie Morales. I'm a distribution designer at National Grid. The purpose for this pole is to add a piece of protective equipment called the recloser. This is nearby one of our substations, so a recloser just detects faults and either opens or closes the circuit depending on if the fault's been resolved. It's a protective piece to make sure outages are at a bare minimum.
Any questions on this particular public hearing?
Nope. Okay. Then I'll make a motion that the board approve the National Grid Sandy Pond Road number 31550-615 proposed installation of one SO pole as presented.
Seconded? All those in favor?
Aye.
And chair says aye. It's been approved. And I'll make a motion to close this public hearing.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. The public hearing has now been closed. Thank you.
No
All
more
right.
notices.
We got 2 more for next month,
Oh, yeah.
just so you know.
I just noticed that, when I'm clerk, it's like 10 in a row. But his birthday, so. All right, so next up, we have the Affordable Housing Update, Katie Neville, CED Program Manager, and Janet Pravadakis, Affordable Housing Committee. Come on down.
What do we win?
Good evening.
You win the chance to sit in those chairs and talk to us.
Much more comfortable than
Very
back there.
exciting.
Take it. Woo!
Madam
Good
Chair,
evening.
Yes.
members of the board, so the first item under, and I provided a memo, is the request for the Select Board's authorization for UDAG funds for the Emergency Assistant Fund. And the board will recall this was brought up under new business at the previous meeting in June by a Select Board member, Copeland, requesting of the board to consider a one-time authorization of $15,000 in UDAG funds that would go to the Emergency Assistant Fund for Housing and Fuel. And that's the piece for tonight. And then the second part of it, equally important since we met, and I have met with the finance manager, is that as part of the FY28 budget moving forward, that there will be a dedicated mechanism and a dedicated amount in the budget towards the fund each year. So we're in the process of, as the memo said, putting together that exact pathway. There are several options, whether it's a dedicated amount each year from free cash, or a specific budget line item under the Community and Economic Development Department for this fund, and there may be some other options. But per the board, there will be, as part of the FY28 budget, a dedicated mechanism moving forward. But for tonight, we're asking that the board consider authorizing up to $15,000 from UDAG to the Emergency Assistant Fund, subject to replenishment by a future town meeting. Did I miss anything?
No.
Okay. All right.
You guys want to add anything?
Excellent. Maybe I'll do my context slide about that fund and then open it to a vote.
Sure.
Does that make sense for order of operations? If you have potentially these slides, if not, I'll just talk.
Yeah.
Probably do. Fabulous,
Start with
that
this one?
first one. Yeah, exactly. So what is this emergency fund that the board is considering adding additional funds to so graciously? First of all, I'm Katie Neville. I'm the Community and Economic Development Director in my role for about 3.5 months. So I get to brag about a lot of awesome things that my office is doing that I was so fortunate to inherit. It is my lovely predecessor, Alicia, and the amazing volunteers that make up the many boards that are a piece of this that deserve all the credit. To give a little bit of context on the emergency fund, so it was established back in December of 2022 through a donation from both Main Street Bank and IC Credit Union. IC Credit Union has generously sustained the fund with a donation each year since. And there's a wonderful internal committee that helps oversee the use of the fund. And over the last 3.5 years, the fund has supported dozens of local families who are dealing with a job loss, a loss of a spouse, loss of benefits, some of our unhoused members of the community who have needed shelter in particularly cold spurts of the winter, those dealing with overwhelming fuel costs. And so it really has been a lifeline for many members of the community. We're hopeful that with some additional bolstering of the fund, we'll be able to do a more proactive job of sharing this with community partners who are likely working with residents who could benefit from the fund but may not yet know that that is available to them through the town. And then hopefully working with the Oversight Committee and the Trust to sort of look at the parameters for the fund too and decide if we're keeping it sort of strictly to housing and fuel, and maybe we are, or if we want to look at allowing for sort of other emergency uses too. There's some good examples from other towns who have similar funds, so we'll have a lot to look at to see what might be a good fit for Ayer.
What's the next slide? Are you good?
Either way, that's the end of the emergency fund bit, but I'm happy to give the broader context of affordable housing whenever the board would like the vote, of course.
So, how fast does this go? I mean, okay, I've had an emergency, I've called you, I got no money, I need fuel. How fast does this work? How does this work? You know?
So they come in, they meet with my office, and there's a brief application where they're giving sort of the context of their situation, and then it's a memo that goes out to the Oversight Committee and an asynchronous approval process where they're getting right back, often suggesting other resources that we should make sure that these folks are connected to, because it's a great, well-versed Oversight Committee that we've got. And so then the funds are importantly paid directly to the landlord or motel or utility provider. So that sometimes is getting the town credit card and going over to the motel. Sometimes it's allowing for the check to go out with the next payables to National Grid. So it sort of depends on the nature of the funding, but it's paid directly to the provider, and up to $500, sort of a one-time use.
Okay.
I think also similar to the affordable housing rental assistance, it's kind of designed like it's a low barrier to entry, where most programs require so much paperwork and proof of everything, and both these programs are like they try to make it easier for people. So it's a lot easier for people to get the assistance.
So basically just, all the forms are for like the critical stuff
Yeah.
that you need, not the superfluous
Right.
paperwork that we all love. I love superfluous.
And I think the hope with these type of funds too is that it's a funnel to bring people who need help in, and then ideally have sort of a broad swath of resources to make sure that they're connected to, right? So this is not one piece of the puzzle for anyone that's in that crisis situation. It's, are they also connected to St. Vincent de Paul, or do they know about the great food pantries available to our community and all that good stuff too?
Sounds good. Anybody have any questions? Okay.
Then I will make a motion that the board authorize funds up to $15,000 from UDAG for the Air Emergency Assistance Fund for housing and fuel. Yeah, that covers it.
Is there an ending to that sentence? I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Seconded.
Kind of hang there.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
And chair says aye, it's been approved.
Fabulous.
So,
Thank you.
If I may, I'd love to tell you now a little bit more about what the office is doing around affordable housing. So I've been fortunate in my 3.5 months to go to several sort of professional development opportunities across the state, and I leave each one sort of feeling very lucky to be in Ayer. Oftentimes best practices are shared and it's like, oh yeah, we're doing that. Oh yes, we're doing that. So it's really great to come into a community that's so very supportive of affordable housing. So kudos to you all for that, and to, again, the amazing volunteers that are behind it. Just briefly, a few of the programs that our office has sort of helped steward over the years. We're wrapping up our most recent community development block grant for housing rehabilitation. So a 3-unit building was just finished, and we're finishing up one more 1-unit, and then we'll have done 8 rehab units with our latest grant. So that's really exciting. That was our 2024 CDBG grant funding. So that's money coming down from HUD, funneling to communities like ours. Fingers crossed that our next CDBG ask for the senior center comes through. Any good vibes you can send out for that, we'd appreciate. So that's really great because it's keeping folks in their homes, making sure that they're safe and accessible. And so we're really excited to celebrate that. The Ayer Rental Assistance Program has been very fortunate to grow and succeed. Started with, I believe, 5 families a handful of years ago now, and just with the latest round of CPC funding at town meeting, supporting the trust, it stepped up to 14 families. So that is a tremendous bridge. It is support for $500 a month for, you can renew up to 3 years, and so that has really been a great bridge for local families, again, keeping people in their homes. Then the planning department, 3rd floor, super supportive of affordable housing. Again, every best practice that people across the state are saying we should be doing, we are. We've got inclusionary zoning, which is so wonderful. So for the new developments that are coming online where they're building 5 or more units, you have to include affordable housing as 10%, which is just a great way to make sure it's sort of sprinkled throughout the community. The multifamily housing by right is fabulous. It's allowing for lots of great housing opportunities as we're redeveloping, because we know we don't have a lot of new land to develop in Ayer, but we do have some great developers who are doing some great things around multifamily housing. And then awesome partnerships. So the Habitat House just behind Town Hall is a great example. And then our friendly 40B that'll be breaking ground hopefully next spring will bring eventually 106 all affordable units to town. So it really is just amazing to see all the different ways that the town is creatively working to make sure that our town is affordable for all sorts of families. I made a little brag sheet about sort of all the different things we're doing, so that's in the packet and on the Community and Economic Development page of the website if anyone cares to take a peek. And then just a shout out to, again, the amazing village of volunteers that helps make it possible. Like, this is multifaceted, so it is involving the select board, the planning board, the amazing Affordable Housing Trust and committee, and it's just an amazing group of people, and I am energized every time I get to have a committee meeting, which is a good thing to walk away from. So, and what's next? So, coming up soon, we've got our housing production plan. It's expiring in the coming year. Also, housing is a big part of the master plan, and that process is coming up. So we're excited to capture the community's vision around what we want the future of housing in Ayer to look like. Which is why we have a great event coming up in September, and Janet is here to tell you all about it.
You got it. And I think really the three of you, Janice, Sean, and Robert, you've been to them before. I don't know. I'm trying to remember, Carly. But the Housing Forum, what we try to do is go ahead and discuss just the successes that we've had. We want to give people an opportunity to meet, talk, see what's going on, because we know that there are a lot of questions. Like, I'm trying to remember, even at the last town meeting, everybody thinks that ADUs are only for family members, and it's an in-law apartment, so it's got to be somebody like that. No, we've got Mike, who's going to go ahead, Mike Wallace, our building inspector, to talk about that, so everybody can understand what this ADU unit can be, which is an accessory dwelling unit on the property, and what it needs to have, what it doesn't need to have, and such. And it can be rental property. It doesn't have to be a family member. But I don't want to take away from the forum itself. But this year we're going to have, like, say, some of the topics. It's going to happen September 29th. Everybody's invited. We're going to be putting out flyers. I've got an old one that Katie's going to go ahead and tweak for being the newest year. And it's going to be from 6 to 8. There will be pizza. All right. So you've got to have the pizza from around the different places here. And then we'll have like a little bit of an activity beforehand so that we can get some interaction between individuals. But we, again, look at our successes. How many affordable units have been built? How many affordable units are going to be planned to be built? Also, the zoning bylaw changes. There's a lot of concerns, of what has, occurred with some of the development, on how beneficial it has been and how many, acres really have been saved. The other thing is also looking at DPW resources, the infrastructure. People have concerns with regards to, do we have the water? Do we have, all that type of infrastructure if we're going to keep building? And what are we going to keep building? What do people see, how we move forward? So I I requested to be here because if there's something else that you can see that would be of interest during a housing forum, because again, it's affordable housing that is putting it on, but overall, you need housing for everybody. And with that, we know that it's a difficult topic to say. If there is more inventory, prices hopefully will go down, because sooner or later you're going to have a type of bidding war of the opposite way. Not, I'm going to pay more for a house. It's like, well, you've got 3 on the market. I'll give you, so much for this, and it'll be less. So we're hoping, again, in time. And also too, like I say, with the affordability. So if there's anything else that the select board might have as an item, I mean, you guys know my email address, my phone number, but I think you're invited. Everybody's invited who's ever listening to this too as well.
This is great. My recommendation is for the next few select board meetings prior to the September 29th that you have a flyer that is like as a reminder, it can be right after the agenda as a reminder, people do this. Talk to APAC, putting on Channel 8. But that way it's constantly.
Already got that.
Okay, I hope so. But just to kind of keep it going, because I think that the more people who are aware and can show up and at least be informed is best. So, and be able to ask some questions and who knows, they may ask the question that you haven't thought of too.
Oh, always.
So more people is the better. So, you have anything?
Nope.
Robert?
Madam Chair, for you, just real quick. First, I just want to again thank Katie. She's been with us for 3.5 months. Time flies. She's hit the ground running. A lot of great ideas, a lot of great energy, and her and Ray work very well together. So welcome, and I know this was her first presentation tonight of many more to the Select Board. And of course, I think as everybody can agree, and you touched upon it, Katie, that the town of Ayer is very supportive and has been of affordable housing, and there's a lot of energy and a team approach to that. And my final point to Janet, who has endless energy. One thing to consider perhaps on topics of discussion, maybe in the beginning, is also what do we mean by affordable? Meaning there's capital A and little a, affordable, and where you have current successes, maybe also some of the challenges we're facing. So just two thoughts.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Anybody have any questions? All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. See you all there.
Okay.
Pizza.
All right. Next up, DPW Director's Report.
Okay.
You want me to frame it, or you?
I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Why
first
over
thing,
there? Why aren't you?
because we're going to be joined by some others in a minute. So DPW Director's Report, the first item on the agenda is the Autumn Ridge folks are here, is a request for a waiver of the stormwater utility fee. And so Robert and I were approached by folks from Autumn Ridge Condominium Trust back in May, requesting this waiver. So we had them submit in writing a formal request so and DPW could review it. And that's the way the process works in our regulations. And so on June 4th, we provided a response to DPW after our review. And in our current regulations, there's no exemption that they don't fit under an exemption. There's no path to a full waiver. If you remember, Janice, through the work group, we had a 50% credit policy. So 50% of the stormwater fee is allowed to be waived if they meet certain requirements, which they actually have, and they do receive that 50%. And the regulations are also clear of how the town's stormwater management systems are benefited by all in town. So we think of our roadways, our culverts, our bridges. So half of the fund is kind of for that, and the other half's for private property, which, the impacts from private property that are reduced, they may help benefit our stormwater discharges. So there's nothing that I could see in the regulations or a reason to authorize a full waiver. And so the Autumn Ridge Condominium Trust has taken their right to come to the Select Board and petition the Select Board for that waiver. And so myself and Matt Hernon put together a memo, which I think made it into the packet as well, just to further explain our reasoning. But in short, that's the DPW doesn't recommend a full waiver of the stormwater fee at this time. But I don't know if you guys want to come up and discuss. Yeah.
We got 3 seats here. You all come up.
Hi,
I'll take the green one.
I'm Kevin Piper.
Bill's happy to stay there.
President.
Okay.
All right.
I'm president of the Board of Trustees from Autumn Ridge Farm. My colleagues are Bill, you want to come sit here?
All right.
Bill
Let's do
Strickland.
that.
And Gavin Price Lewis.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what were the names again?
I'm sorry, Bill Strickland,
Okay,
Gavin Price Lewis,
okay,
and Peg Pfeiffer.
thank you.
I think Robert has them all somewhere hidden.
Yes. Hello.
We're going to turn it over to Gavin.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated. And I've tried to be as succinct as possible. So if I could just pass this out. One for you, Dan. Peg, would you mind just circulating those? Just by way of background, I just want to say that I'm a civil engineer. I won't tell you when I graduated. It was a long time ago. For the last 10 years, so I've wide experience of stormwater and water and building roads and bridges, etc. Plus, for the last 10 years, I founded and run a charity, a 501c3 called Lulu Inc., which provides decent basic sanitation to vulnerable and marginalized people in Africa and elsewhere wherever that's needed in rural areas. So I have some wide experience of civil engineering works. So we accept your decision. So that's point one. And the reason we're here tonight is we want assurance as a board of trustees that from now on, the town of Ayer will handle all our stormwater maintenance.
Okay.
Bearing in mind, can I just say that it consists of 2 detention ponds, major detention ponds, that we have fairly regularly maintained, because otherwise they become very overgrown and of course mosquitoes, etc. And of course those detention ponds were built as a condition of that project going ahead in the first place. So the town of Ayer insisted on those. And then we also have a very long swale between us and the haying field next door, which is also necessary to control runoff. And then of course we've got our stormwater catch pits. So we're here tonight just to hear from you that we can rest assured that from now on, if we pay the 3420, the town will handle our maintenance.
Dan?
For me, yeah. So I would not recommend that, and the reasons are it's a privately owned development, so the town doesn't own the roads, doesn't own the drainage pipes, doesn't own any of it right now. So really, it's kind of a murky area. You know, if we go in there and something happens, are we liable? That could be an issue. Additionally, precedence could be an issue as well. If we were to take on Ridge's private stormwater, there's several other private stormwater developments in town, Neshoba Village. You know, most of the site plans that we do nowadays have a stormwater permit. They have private stormwater they take care of, like a few down Central Ave we've done, even though those are small. So they're going to come and want the town to be taken over theirs too, and then now you're dealing with access, legality, and also cost. And kind of as I talked about, you know, the 50% credit is really, you know, for the on-site stormwater, and then the other 50 is really everybody's benefiting from town-wide stormwater and how we're funding that as a town through the fund. You know, if everyone was able to eliminate that or not have to deal with it, it would, you know, we wouldn't have any stormwater funds. I mean, that's the full waiver kind of discussion, which is, I guess, is off the table now. So that's what I would recommend not moving forward. I mean, we're in a relatively new program too, the stormwater program, and you know, we're still making sure everything works right. So I don't think any sudden changes would be a good idea either.
So I have a question. On this blanket monthly stormwater maintenance fee of $3,420 per year to be paid to the town of Ayer, is that the normal rate or is that the 50% rate?
That's a 50% rate.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
But it costs you $6,740 per year?
Yeah, that's, you have all those figures.
Yeah.
And you can vouch that they're based on what we provided you with.
And you guys do a very good job maintaining your stormwater. I think a couple of times our catch basin cleaners accidentally gone down into your neighborhood. And you're like, hey,
accidentally.
So you mentioned how like this is a town road or anything like that. Is it pending to become that way?
No.
Okay.
No, it's private.
It would stay private.
Yeah, it's Longview Circle, for example, off of Willow Road, same thing there.
Okay.
So I have a question. You say it's private, but it falls within the town of Ayer. So the regulations apply to us, even though it's private, but you're not prepared to maintain it.
Yeah, that's the catch-22.
Yeah.
Is that, you know. because
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the catch-22.
Exactly.
But if you don't maintain the stormwater, everyone suffers, you know?
Yes.
So,
Right.
yeah, that is a catch-22.
One of our residents, by the way, is Miriam Stoddard.
Ah!
I don't have to say any more.
Yeah, we've over 5 years, we shared with Dan and Robert.
Yeah.
Over 5 years, because it varies by year, we've spent probably 33,000. So it averages out about 6, but you know, maybe we do the swale every other year, et cetera. So these stormwater costs are really pumping our budget up. I think that's the issue. So if there's any way we can get some help, and that would be great.
The biggest issue is that the cost over the last 5 years was the 33,000 we talked of. We took the average of that. But the next 5, who knows what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And plus, it's a 20-year-old system. So, you know, it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, I did look at, and we did it as part of the work group, like almost every town that has an enterprise fund does have a credit policy, and the maximum is 50%. A lot of them are even lower than that. So, you know, right now that's how we set it up, but I wouldn't want to make any sudden changes.
Yeah, I don't think we can. We can't go to 100% based on how we did write it.
Yeah, then everyone could come in.
Yeah, and I
with that
mean,
budget.
everybody was involved in that as far as, you know,
Right.
what the credit policy would be. So I don't, we can't, you know, assume future responsibility.
Is there a middle ground here? I hope you guys agree. Could you do our catch basins? And we do all the vegetation chomping, so to speak.
The tough thing with that is the precedence. If we start doing it for one private steward, we really should be doing it for all for equity. And there's at least 25 private stewards or more out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something we would have to go to town meeting to be able to change the rules to be able to do something like that.
Money.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even just
because
we
like you
probably
said,
have to,
you
we
start
have
a
to change the
precedent,
rules
yeah,
anyways to do anything more than 50%.
right,
We'd have to go to town meeting and ask.
right.
Because it'd be an adjustment to the regulations.
I mean, we understand that regulations, you know,
Yeah.
nothing's perfect in this world.
Yeah,
You said it, and then there'll always be a catch-22, as you said.
right,
Madam Chair.
yeah,
And then also I would just operationally, of course, we would need, you know, a host of agreements if this were to move forward, you know, with town council, but then insurance considerations. I don't, just based on past practice with our insurance company, think they're gonna let us enter private property to clean storm
Yeah.
basins that we didn't put in. Or if they do, it's gonna be at a great cost to the town.
yeah. And again, I
Think
think something
unfortunately-
like that would have to go to town meeting, and something big like that, and an agreement like that, because again, if we did that agreement with you, we would have to end up doing an agreement with another. So we would have to get, I'm pretty confident that we'd have to get town meeting approval, which means this whole policy that we just wrote and put into effect, which took 2 years to write, and then, you know, and we finally get this up and running, and to, you know, we'd be kind of blowing it all up again.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that some people will panic if we start to do that, because, you know, if we blow it up again, then they're gonna see a price increase, and we got everybody calmed down about that right at the moment. So, I don't see it as a way out.
Just for my own elucidation, or our elucidation, can I just ask you, I looked at how you arrived at this square area, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, our roads were taken into account, presumably.
Yes, any impervious area. Yeah, defined,
Any
right?
impervious area.
Yeah, so if you were
So
to
even though
reduce-
it's private property, it was taken into the calculation.
Yes.
Because what I said to the board was, if I'd been asked to do this, I would have taken what it costs for stormwater maintenance, town of Ayer pays, let's say 5 million, and I would divide back by the square feet, and that's how I would arrive at, if you were to do individual houses or complexes, that's how you would arrive at your 6, 8. So I'm not saying it was,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that seems reasonable, that that's how it was arrived. So it's interesting that even though it's private, our impervious surfaces were taken into account.
Right,
Right.
because it's gonna roll downhill.
No, sure.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, but it just also, I kind of say it for,
And that's why we got the
you know,
detention
right.
ponds to
But I
prevent
mean,
it.
yeah,
from-
this whole thing was, we started talking about the stormwater utility fee like 10 years ago. And it took, and it really, people got so mad, we had to kind of put it on the shelf for a while before we brought it back out, because I don't think we were explaining it right. And I think that we finally got that, so. But yeah, I think our hands are tied on this.
Something we can revisit next year, or talk with.
Well, no, you mentioned a town meeting. Are you prepared to do that?
To take this to town meeting? Off the top of my head, I'm going to say I don't think so.
Beg your pardon?
I said off the top of my head, I'm saying I don't think so. Because again,
I
we
thought
would
you were
have
leaning
to.
towards that.
Yeah, no, because I think we'd have to redo the stormwater regulations and credit
Yeah.
policy.
And we went through a process of trying to make it equitable. We looked at a lot of different ways to actually do the fund, what other communities do, and what's been accepted,
Right.
regulation-wise,
Yeah.
legally-wise.
So effectively, we're
kind
going to
of
be
plan
spending,
here.
sorry if interrupt.
Yep.
Effectively, we're going to be spending then 10,000 a year,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
which, we feel is punitive.
I can see that point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's punitive. It's an over 55 community.
Yeah.
People on fixed incomes. I would have thought there'd be some forbearance there, and I understand that 50% is forbearance.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, we loathe to even increase the HOA by 3% per annum. And we try and avoid, what do they call special?
Special assessment.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had one that I recall.
Before we got on the board there.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah.
It was a long time
Peg
ago,
she's been on the board about 14 years now.
Yeah.
She's done amazing work.
Yeah, and I think I just add, I think we do get it, and it is a new program, so it's something, we can keep in our considerations. Is there something we can do? This type of situation, it's not very common. Either there's a big bill or a little bill usually, but you guys are in that sort of middle ground where,
And what
There's
doesn't
other private
really-
properties over 55s, because I'm not aware of another over
Yeah.
55 in the town of
I
Ayer.
don't think so.
I think there is.
So we're the exception, basically.
Another condo over 55 in Ayer. There's a couple of
I'm
condos.
gonna-
Yeah,
There might
but
be.
you're like, as your, I don't know if you call it a charter.
Yeah.
Or it's specifically over 55.
yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes.
One person has to be, the
At
young
least one
puppy
person,
can be
yeah.
18. No, 21, sorry.
Dan, what are your expectations? I know you just started this, probably haven't gotten that far.
Mhm.
But as Bill mentioned, maintenance goes up. Is there any expectation? Are these costs for a couple of years or reviewed every year?
The rates,
Yes.
they get reviewed every year by the rate review committee.
Okay.
So the town has a committee, and they look at water and sewer and solid waste rates
So you
as
look
well.
basically at what Gavin said, what it cost you to do.
Yeah, and every either year or two, I forget which, we do an analysis of impervious area just to recheck
Oh, so
the
if you
town.
put grass down, we'll be better off?
Yeah, if you reduce impervious area, you do reduce your bill. it
Yeah,
reduces
so the rate
stormwater costs.
review, so this, we started actually collecting the funds on this almost a year ago. is when we started actually, because it took a while to implement.
Uh-huh.
So when we start our next rate review process, which will be in September, is that when we talk about this one, or are we talking about this one later?
No,
I
this
don't remember
one's
when
we
it
do
falls.
water and sewer, so it's
Yeah, I think, well, this is
December-ish.
transfer station and comes up in like September, and then
Correct.
this is water and sewer, so this will come up
December,
And-
January.
and under the
yeah.
rate review agenda, like in this early, like the January through March timeframe.
So, yeah, so these rates are for this year.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we'll renew it for
Right,
2027.
so at that point, then we'll look to see how we're doing.
I see.
And then, of course, there's a public hearing. If there's going to be any rate changes, there's a public hearing
Okay.
to make sure that everyone knows,
Yeah.
as to whether or not we've decided to raise rates.
Right.
We try not to raise, so I'm hoping that we don't have to, at least for another year.
I understand.
But once we see the numbers.
Right.
And then as far as policy goes, well, policies, should always be reviewed and updated as needed. So who's to say this one was approved, 24? Yeah,
Town
so it was
meeting
like
24,
12
fall
meeting
24.
24 kind of went into effect in 25. So, maybe, every 3-4 years, hey, everyone do a review. How's this working? What needs to be tweaked?
When you,
Yeah.
when you were reviewing and looking for like other towns, what other places do, did you see anything in there where like 55 plus communities had a carve out?
So yes, I actually have a spreadsheet from the work group here. There are some credits for senior residents, blind residents, disabled residents in a handful of municipalities. I believe, I have to look back, we checked with council, and that could be contentious. So it's something we'd really have to look a little closer at again. That could be something to be considered at a future policy update. Yeah.
So can we come back in a year, or, well, you're going to review the rates and things in January?
So January, we start the rate review committee portion for the water and sewer and stormwater. September to November, don't try to do it early. We do like the transfer station portion of the rate review. So it's kind of broken out as to when we do it. So that's when they're public meetings and they're posted. So, you can always join in, you can zoom in, just to see what we're talking about or whatnot too.
Can I ask then, Sean, if I may call you that, is this going to be recorded, our contention, if you like?
You're being recorded right now.
Oh, it is.
Oh, you're on Channel 8. You're live on Channel 8.
All right.
Everybody's watching.
The camera's got
We
both
haven't
your
told
good
him.
sides.
So maybe we could review with Dan,
Yeah,
what's a
okay.
good time to come talk to you in the next year? We
Yeah,
could
let's
probably
talk
sit down
offline,
with you,
yeah.
or you and Robert or something,
Yeah,
see
no,
where we
pull Matt,
are,
the town
or
engineer.
just a
Yeah.
casual meeting and.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What,
we can
when,
take a
end of
closer
the year,
look.
next year, what time? Just give me an idea so we can.
Yeah, I think January, because when
After
we're
the
looking at
new
the
year.
rates.
January.
Good time.
All right,
So
thank
how
you.
often do we have to upgrade that credit application?
I think it's every 3 years. Don't
Yeah.
mark my words.
I think it's every
Without
3.
looking at the policy.
I didn't see
We
that
looked at so many.
in
Yeah.
the documentation.
Yeah,
I think I
Right,
saw it
I
somewhere.
have them, Rick.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Come again.
Just one other thing, I'd like to thank Dan and also, I think his name is Matt.
Yeah, Matt, the town
On the help.
engineer.
That was
Oh, thanks.
fantastic. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys do a good
This
job up there.
because
Taking care
Bill
of things.
sent them a booklet this big.
Yeah.
And I am sure they reviewed every picture of every swale, detention pond, and catch basin.
They're engineers.
Yes,
They
that's how
loved
they
it.
relax.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you.
Janet, are you sticking around for my last?
Yes, I am.
Is it? Can I move around items and do my last item?
Well, don't worry,
Chance
you don't have to.
All right.
You're quick.
Okay, yeah, the next
It's
one's
good
okay.
for her to know what's going on. And it's good for us to have someone in the audience.
All right, so some regular business DPW-wise, change order number 1 for the West Main Street Bridge. This is for repairs to the guardrail. And so the guardrail on the north side of the bridge was deflected by a vehicle at some point, and that's where all the vehicles are going now, in the single lane.
I love that word.
So, it wasn't an easy fix either, because there's no
Of course not.
place to mount the actual post. Of course, it's the bridge. So we had to do some form work, some additional work. So the change order is for $23,603.88, and that's in the contingency of the project for a signature by the chair.
I just know.
You know,
You
if
saw
I'm
that,
still
so-
alive when this bridge is done, I want to cut the ribbon.
You definitely can.
I'll,
We
Carly, this
made
is all
the
three
bridge
that I'm
for you.
We need a motion.
Yeah, I have no questions. I move that the board vote to approve change order number 1 for the West Main Street Bridge Replacement Project in the amount of $23,603.88 for signature by the chair.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And chair says aye.
Okay, second item is change order 3 for the FY26 sewer system rehabilitation project. This project's almost complete. All we have left is to line a pipe that actually goes underneath the railroad. So that's taking a while because of permitting with the railroad, but we're almost there. We expect that to be completed next month. So this change order is actually for a credit of $55,882.94. And what it includes is increased time. There were some delays from this railroad permit I mentioned. And also we removed a manhole repair that was no longer needed from the scope. And we did some additional drainage work on Groton School Road as part of it. So a credit, don't often come by with those.
Okay.
We'll take it.
Any questions?
I got
Then I'll make a motion that the board vote to approve change order number 3 for the fiscal year 26 sewer system rehabilitation project in the amount of a $55,882.94 credit, and to extend date of substantial completion to September 1st, 2026 for signature by the chair.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And chair says aye.
All right, great. The last change order is number 5 for Grove Pond Water Treatment Plant PFAS system improvements, aka the Clearwell project.
Oh.
It's relatively small, $7,490.20. But there were some additional items as we were going through that were missed during design that needed to be added. A toggle switch for our high lift pump control scheme, a backdraft damper, exhaust fan, etc. A few, relatively small items. So this is funded still through the Army grant, not through the town.
Any questions?
No. Make a motion that the board vote to approve change order number 5 for the Grove Pond Water Treatment Plant PFAS System Improvements Project in the amount of $7,490.20 for signature by the chair.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And chair says aye.
All right. Janet, do you want to come up? Hang out there. The last item, okay. Last item, and I've talked with Robert as well about this, so feel free, Robert. The Town of Ayer Dog Park, it was constructed in 2018. The original design did include a shade structure. Unfortunately, at the time, it was an ad alternate, and we didn't have the funds to construct it, so it did not get done. Now, over the years, we have had complaints about shade out there, and I have been out there, and it's, on a hot summer day, it's not very good.
brutal.
We have lost a tree over the years, so that we tried to save as many trees as we could, so that's not helping. So I think what I've done recently is I've actually looked at the state bid. There's a state bid process through Combi. It's FAC 122 it's called, and you can actually, it's pretty much pre-procured work, and I've been requesting a quote from a company there, and I haven't gotten through to them to find out kind of a current budget on it. But I already started doing some background work on this. But I think what I'm looking for really is kind of a support from the board to move forward with a CPA request for this type of work, which can be done for the dog park as a recreational component in town.
Or, just to add through the chair, the intent would be, with the board's blessing, to file the pre-application And application, the CPA would be to bring it to the fall town meeting on the CPA route for October.
Correct.
So,
That's what we would go ahead and
Yeah.
do. And also too, we gotta remember too that CPA funds were used, for the dog park as well. So there's already a precedent that's been set of, the funds, were there to go ahead and help out the dog park. So,
and just through the chair, so obviously there's no appropriation right now for this. So the
Right.
thought was the CPA, which if we go through the process, that's October 26th, assuming town meeting approved, then the funds are available upon town meeting approval. How soon do you think it would take to get this up?
I'd say spring of next year. With the state bid already being there, it kind of cuts out the whole bidding process. You can work with vendors and get quotes because it's already basically pre-procured. So I would think spring.
And
First
just through the chair, if you had the funding, I'm going to say now, hypothetically, how soon?
Probably it could take maybe a couple months, just because even though it's pre-procured, we have to set up with a vendor, get on their schedule. I don't think they're probably pretty booked. I mean, I've been having trouble just getting a quote from one of them.
Okay.
So I would guess it could be a little bit.
So
a
there,
couple months.
I think I know where you're going. There would be no advantage to funding it through UDAG
Yeah, right.
with
I mean, we're almost,
replenishment from CPA.
I don't think so, because we're almost in August, and it wouldn't be till like end of September or something. I would guess.
Yeah, by then
someone's
the
out there
sun's
constructing it.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to change the clocks.
Yes.
Some
Oh yeah.
Okay.
so, and just to back it up, October would be, I don't know when the warrants, closes. All right, but we'd have to have a public hearing by the beginning of October so that we could get the article, generated. So which means would need an application by September meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When you guys
Yes,
meet?
we usually
First
open the
Wednesday.
warrant in
Wednesday.
August.
Next meeting.
So August 18th is our next meeting, so the warrant will get opened on August 18th.
And I can go ahead and, like I say, we can put it on the agenda that it's going to be forthcoming, an application.
All right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can get you the pre-application.
All right,
The
that would be
warrant
good.
will close October 2nd,
Is that when it is?
and then we'll approve it the 6th,
When's the first Wednesday in October?
the 7th.
Okay. We may have to,
We'll coordinate,
okay,
because this is a priority.
okay.
So you basically just need us to say tonight, yes, go for it. We're in support of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think we need,
On
Yeah,
we don't
behalf
need a
of
vote.
many of us that are sweating out there, bring our own little umbrella, blankets to sit on the bench. Yes, we're full support.
So
Great.
So Dan and I will get the pre-application. We'll coordinate with you on the timeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will
If
keep
that can
the
be
board-
ready for the August meeting, that would be great.
Okay.
Probably can be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan's
We're
gonna
gonna do
make
2
this a
weeks.
priority.
Yeah.
Not even.
What's that?
It's in like 10 days,
Uh,
right?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a
But it's a
pre-application.
pre-application,
Okay.
it's only
Yeah.
2 pages,
Got it.
Oh yeah.
just to give us an idea of the cost. And
Yeah, we'll get.
If he ever gets a quote.
He'll get it.
We'll get back to him.
I mean, I have the cost from 2018, but
All right.
I'd rather an update.
Somehow or another, I think lumber's changed in present. All right.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank
sounds
you.
good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for sticking around, James.
Okay. Oh, you're welcome. I'm still gonna go sit back there.
Okay.
All right, next up, Robert.
Madam Chair, members of the board, happy summer. It's very rare, I don't have any action items.
I see that.
You have the warrants that were all approved since the board last met. And in the interest of time and on the update, just want to thank the board and everybody that was involved with the successful special town meeting that happened on July 13th. And as already mentioned, I was just going to say coming attractions for the August meeting will be opening the warrant for the fall town meeting. And in the August meeting, I also anticipate having an energy update for the board on two fronts. An energy update as what we're seeing in terms of the town budget impacts, nothing to panic yet, and also an energy rate update on the municipal aggregation, because the assistant town manager and I met with the municipal aggregation folks, and as the board can probably understand, with all of the changes in energy, there's going to be some rate changes to the aggregation program, but that will be covered in August. So unless the board has any questions for tonight, it's short and sweet, and looking forward to the next meeting.
That was amazing.
He didn't even say in the interest of
He
time.
did. He did.
Oh, did he?
You missed
Oh.
it.
I tune it out now.
Happy birthday.
It's so amazing.
Yep.
Love it.
All right, nothing had been listed for new business select board member questions, but has anything come up?
Nope.
Yep, I got nothing. All right, next up is the approval of meeting minutes from June 16th, 2026, June 24th, 2026, and July 13th, 2026.
Yeah, that was awesome. But I didn't see any edits or changes.
I didn't notice anything.
So I'll make a motion that the board approve the meeting minutes from June 16th, 2026, June 24th, 2026, and July 13th, 2026 as presented.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Those meeting minutes are approved. Oh, all right. Thank you.
Oh, really?
I know.
Oh,
I got-
okay.
Here's this.
I know, I got lost. I was like, wait a minute. I thought we had a, so. Okay,
Madam Chair,
yes?
I make a motion that the board go into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Exemption Number 6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, property of Sullivan Investment Trust, West Main Street, Air, Mass., Assessors Map 25-11, for the purpose of review and approval of the draft June 24th, 2026 executive session meeting minutes, and to adjourn at the conclusion of executive session.
Second. All those in favor? John?
Aye.
And chair says aye.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. We're in executive session.